Imagine a world where the party of your father and uncle, the champions of democracy, has turned into something unrecognizable. 16 months ago, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. embarked on a journey to reclaim those lost values. He began his campaign as a Democrat, the party he had pledged allegiance to since childhood. But the party he once knew had changed dramatically, becoming the party of war, censorship, and big money. In October, he left the Democratic Party to run as an independent, facing insurmountable odds. Conventional wisdom said it was impossible to get on the ballot as an independent, but he proved them wrong. A massive independent political movement sprang into action, with over 100,000 volunteers. These volunteers worked tirelessly, sacrificing family time and personal commitments, driven by a shared vision. They collected over 1 million signatures, a feat no presidential candidate had ever achieved. Kennedy thanked these dedicated volunteers, acknowledging their sacrifices and their love for the country. Despite their efforts, the Democratic Party waged legal warfare to keep him off the ballot. The DNC used every tactic to subvert the will of the voters and maintain their grip on power. Kennedy's campaign faced relentless censorship and media control, with mainstream networks maintaining an embargo on him. Despite this, his ideas flourished among young and independent voters, thanks to alternative media. Realizing he had no realistic path to victory, Kennedy made a heart-wrenching decision. He suspended his campaign to avoid being a spoiler and altering the election outcome. But he didn't terminate his campaign. His name would remain on the ballot in most states. Kennedy's decision was driven by three great causes: free speech, the war in Ukraine, and the war on our children. He criticized the military-industrial complex and the reckless neocon project of extending NATO. Kennedy highlighted the devastating impact of the Ukraine war on both Ukraine and the United States. He condemned the Biden administration's actions, which pushed Russia into a disastrous alliance with China and Iran. Kennedy found common ground with President Trump on key issues like ending forever wars and protecting free speech. After intense discussions, Trump suggested they join forces as a unity party. Kennedy acknowledged their differences but emphasized their alignment on existential issues. He criticized the Democratic Party's lack of interest in addressing the chronic disease epidemic. Kennedy highlighted the dire state of American health, with skyrocketing rates of chronic diseases. He blamed ultra-processed foods and toxic chemicals for the epidemic, calling for urgent reforms. Kennedy proposed rooting out corruption in health agencies and changing healthcare incentives. He emphasized the need to inspire Americans to get healthy again and reform the food system. Kennedy's decision to support Trump was driven by a moral obligation to save American children. He believed that with new leadership, America could become a healthy country again. Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country and our children is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other. Thank you all very much.